And I took the psychopath test too, and it was like ridiculous.
Stupid.
Yeah, and so I don't even think we talk about it. Yeah.
Did you answer yes to any of them?
The one about
bugs.
Do you dream in black and white?
You dream in black and white?
I think so. Apparently.
Psycho. Oh, Chris Hughes is listening.
Good God. It's going to be my comedy album. Darren Cox, hard funny.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, the hottest thing to hit the planet since the Pontiac 5. Now, here are your hosts, Mike and Darren.
Hey, everybody, I'm Darren.
I'm Mike.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome. This is episode 56.
What's up?
Well, we're recording the show. It's
Yep.
September 14th, and we've mentioned this several times on this podcast. We always record the show a week in advance, sometimes 2 weeks in advance if one of us has a vacation. But today is, I wanted to talk about something very near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
On September 12th, one of my very good friends in this world, Tim Cable, he passed away from COVID. I've mentioned this on my Facebook page and on my Twitter. He was just one of the best friends I've ever had. He was one of the greatest storytellers somebody could ever hope to know. Mm-hmm. We're going to post a link to his obit, to the video that they made for him at my old TV station, WJHL.com.
There was somebody was leaving or he was leaving or something. You made a 1 minute or something video and you have a mullet. That's a great, he seemed like a funny guy.
He was a very funny guy.
Yeah.
So funny. Yeah. 4 or 5 years ago, he left my TV station and everybody was sending in going away messages for him. And I sent that and I brought that back out and showed it again.
He looked very familiar. I don't know if I might have, I think I would know if I knew him, but he seemed very familiar. And your mullet seemed very familiar.
I had a great mullet.
So I come from an area with a lot of mullets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yours looked like a 50-year-old woman mullet.
It did not.
Yeah.
It did not.
You did.
No.
You like a cross between that and like a horse's mane. Where it flows, like it flutters on the sides, but the back looks like it's pasted down to your scalp.
I'll post pictures of my mullet, and our fans can be.
Well, you've already posted
they can be
the video.
Judge. Yeah.
Okay, you guys, when you watch the video, there's a part where Darren is running away from the camera, and I challenge you to not think of a horse galloping away. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Thanks for turning this away from what I was talking about.
That's what I'm here for.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about was there was one night where Tim Cable was on Letterman. Yeah, the Late Show with David Letterman reached out to
he was a guest.
No, the Late Show reached out to news anchors all across the great United States of ours, and the category was top 10 least popular news anchor sign-offs. Okay,
okay.
And so what they did was they got 10 anchors, and then one in Virginia, and Tim in Johnson City, and someone in Hawaii, or whatever. And here's the audio.
The category tonight. Least popular news anchor sign-off lines. You know,
least popular.
Yeah, around the country, your anchor team, like Don and Debbie or Larry and Susie or whatever they happen to be, when they sign off the 11 o'clock news, they have a little catchphrase.
Like what?
Like hasta luego, you little riding punk. But they have a little catchphrase, and it makes the home viewer feel better because it's a connection. It's like part of the family.
Sure.
You're getting ready to go to bed. Of course, God forbid you'd stay up to watch this show, but you're getting ready to go to bed. And so here we have the top 10 least popular news anchor sign-off lines from affiliates all over the country. All right, understand? Number 8, Tim Cable from WJHL in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Let's take a few moments to notice just how handsome I am.
Not really that good looking, is he?
My favorite part was when Dave goes, "Hey, he's not that good looking, is he?" But Tim loved that, and I wanted to tell a story about him.
Okay.
One that not a lot of people know. And it's not like it's a secret story. But I was in Tim's wedding, and Tim was at our wedding. When we got married, we gave trophies out to our parents and to, certain friends and best man and that type of thing. So Tim Cable and Lisa Kaplan, who were co-anchors at the time, they came up and they presented these awards. My mother-in-law, she was never really like starstruck with people.
Okay.
That just wasn't a thing that she really seemed to care about.
Yeah.
She saw Tim Cable there and she's like, "Oh my goodness, I know him. I've watched him on TV for years." And she was talking to my Uncle Roger and she said, I would love to go over there And I'd like to go over there and talk to him. He says, we'll go over there and talk to him.
Yeah.
So Libby and I are sitting there at our table doing our thing, and we see my mother-in-law, Joyce, walk across the room. I mean, she would never walk across the room to meet anybody. So we're watching this, and she walks across, and we see her talking to Tim.
Okay.
My Uncle Roger starts laughing so hard, he's about to fall out of the chair.
Okay.
And then we see Tim start laughing, and I looked at Roger, and I said, what's going on? What's so funny? And he said, she couldn't remember his name. So I told her that his name was Dave Dirks. Dave Dirks is the meteorologist at WCYB, Channel 5, competitor of WJHL TV 11. So my mother-in-law walks over and she introduces herself to Tim, and he starts smiling and laughing. He sees Uncle Roger laughing. He knows exactly what's going on. And he's so nice. He never corrected her. He just said, it's nice to meet you too, and what's your name, and what do you do? And he talked and talked and talked. And when she came back and found out what Roger did, she was so mad at Roger with this. But anyway, Tim Cable was just absolutely one of the greatest, nicest, kindest people, and I miss him horribly. And so for Christina, for his sons Trevor, Adrienne, and Andrea, all my love to you, and to all the fans out there who enjoyed Tim Cable and his series Cable Country, my love goes out to you. Something else sad that happened today was Norm Macdonald died.
Yeah.
Tim Cable was 60, Norm Macdonald was 61. So tomorrow, somebody famous who's 62 I'm just going to pass away.
I feel like we should put an opening on a very special episode of Irritable Dad Syndrome. So Norm Macdonald hit me because I, as a kid, remember watching him. You know, in the 80s, they had those comedian, like the half-hour show or whatever, hour-long
like
show.
Like a half-hour comedy hour.
HBO I remember seeing him when he was a new comic, like when he was young. I posted on Facebook, I said he's probably one of the funniest people to ever walk the planet.
That's true.
But at the time, what was funny to me was that I couldn't tell whether he was bombing or killing it. But people were laughing. It was really hard to tell whether they were laughing with him or at him. And what made, what was really cool about him is I don't think he cared.
No, I don't think he did either.
Just as long as people were laughing.
There's a great video on YouTube of him dealing with a heckler, and he just spends like 10 minutes going, how come you don't think I'm funny? Yeah. You didn't like the joke about the monkey? Yeah. Come on, the monkey, he went into the bar, right? And he didn't have enough coconuts or whatever the joke was.
Yeah.
And he didn't care that this person did not think he was funny. Because he's Norm Macdonald. He knew he was funny. So he knew he had the chops and the skills.
I chose to link one of my favorite things that he did was his final show on
his last appearance on Letterman. Yeah.
I don't know if the country that he's most scared of is Germany, and then he says, "I don't know if there's any history buffs in here." I still lose it every time.
Yeah, I mean, Germany, they started a war with the world, and
it was close.
And then they did it again.
And they said, we're not going to let you be a country no more anymore on account of you tried to fight the world.
Come on, Germany, cut it out, Oh, my God, so funny. Absolutely so funny. Can't believe he's gone.
Yeah. Before we move on from Norm Macdonald, if you out there in Irritable Dad Land have not watched his podcast, his video podcast that he did, some of the funniest stuff you will ever see on YouTube. One of the funniest things, and you have to. I don't want to offend anyone, so if you're easily offended, first of all, welcome.
Why are you listening to this show? Yeah,
but so you're clearly not. But go and he did a thing where he would make the most horrible jokes that were so everything bad. You're talking about cancel culture.
Yeah.
Each one of these jokes would end a career. He wrote tons of them, and he would give them on cards to his guests to read. And the guests included Gilbert Gottfried. I think Seinfeld was on there.
Yeah.
The most famous one that you probably have seen, even if you're not looking for it, is Super Dave. Super Dave was on the first episode, and Super Dave lost it. That combined with his co-host, who was intentionally not funny, and asked every single comedian, actor, or anyone that came on the show, he asked them all the same question. So where do you get your ideas? You can watch these clips are all over YouTube. I think that's a good way to tribute him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just laugh at the stuff that he put out there.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Trim Fingernail Clippers. Since 1947, the Trim brand has provided quality clippers to help make your fingernails look their absolute best. Oh, and here's a fun fact. Did you know that the Trim brand was founded in Shelton, Connecticut? It's true. Just one more reason to visit the Show Me State. Or is it the Nutmeg State? It doesn't matter. Now, back to the show.
We got a rabbit.
Okay.
Do
you call it a rabbit at home, or do you call it a bunny?
We're calling it a bunny.
Yeah.
Okay, we call it a bunny.
Call it a bunny.
And we got one because for the longest time, the boys...
It's a hopping rodent is what it is.
No, it's a cute little bunny with smoochy little wiggly nose, and
Okay.
it's adorable.
Okay. When I go over to your house, is it going to jump and scratch me like Dakota does to
No,
you?
it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not going to bark and...
Yeah. Do you walk the bunny?
You can walk the bunny.
Really?
We got a harness for it. I got home today.
Does it have a cage?
Yeah, it has a cage.
Yeah.
My wife spent like $80 on stuff for the bunny rabbit.
Yeah, that's what happens.
She's losing her mind with the bunny rabbit.
Yeah.
And it's adorable. It's so cute. So we the boys wanted a dog. They've wanted a dog for the longest time. And I'm like, guys, we're not going to get a dog. We're not home enough to have a dog to properly take care of a dog. And it's irresponsible. And it's like when we had Conrad, the last however many years we had him, he was home by himself 9 or sometimes 10 hours a day.
That's kind of how Molly was.
And that's unfair to the dog.
Okay.
And
I feel guilty.
But
a bunny, you can just gas them and they go right out and you can do whatever you want and come back and smelling salts and there's bugs.
Yeah. We're editing that out. So Libby wanted the boys to have a pet. Okay, so we started talking. It's like, well, what if we get a guinea pig? Or what if we get a gerbil or a ferret? And I didn't want a ferret because I hear they stink and I hear they're crazy. I hear they're like jacked up crazy.
They're one of Beastmasters. Like he uses a ferret, Obo, Ogo, and Pogo.
Pogo and
they fight
Pongo,
the evil guy.
Ever tell you that I know a woman who worked on the Beastmaster?
No, how have we been friends this long and you haven't told me that?
I've got a friend.
Really?
Yeah. She's she went to zoo school. And she's
zoo school.
Zoo
School to learn how to work in a zoo.
Yes. Well, she's studied.
Oh, because it's the Beastmaster. Okay.
Yeah, she's studied. She knows everything about all the animals. She's trained otters. Okay, she's went to Africa.
She's trained otters into a skill, a sellable trade.
Yeah, and dolphins and other things. Anyway, she worked on the Beastmaster. We'll get her as a guest on the show sometime, and then we'll talk about.
You're not with me.
I'm not with you. She's worked on the Beastmaster because she also juggles. So we were juggling one Wednesday night, and she went to have a beer with us.
Okay.
And we're just sitting there talking and
starts juggling ferrets.
And no, then she said, back in the day when I worked on the Beastmaster, I was like, what? You worked on the Beastmaster? Yeah.
That's like...
So you... Yeah, vicariously through me know someone who has worked with Mark Singer
of separation
and the ferrets that were on the Beastmaster.
That's like going out and having a beer and realize you're sitting next to the guy that Arnold Schwarzenegger took the clothes from at the beginning of Terminator 2.
Exactly.
And you're like, what the hell? How?
Exactly.
What? Yeah, it was just he said, I want your clothes, and they were like, cut.
Yeah,
you know,
and like I know him. Yeah, I know that guy. Anyway, back to the rabbit.
Yeah. Sorry, you brought up Beastmaster.
I know.
That's
you brought up. Well,
Ogo and Pogo.
I brought up ferrets, and then you brought up Beastmaster.
It's true.
Okay,
that's true.
So don't.
I brought up Beastmaster.
When you point the finger at me, there's 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Can I say something?
Yeah, you're going
There's
to.
few movies in the 80s that have a more awesome title than Beastmaster.
Yeah.
I mean, that's up there with RoboCop.
As much as I love Beastmaster,
Terminator.
It's a horrible movie, but I did love it.
I need to watch it again.
I know.
I need to watch it again. You can probably really see the seams now.
Yeah. I bet you certainly can. So, we didn't want a ferret. We didn't want a gerbil. We talked about getting a guinea pig and this and that. And then Libby's like, well, what about a rabbit? And then everyone's like, oh, cool. Rabbits are cute.
Yeah.
Rabbits are, okay. And then I'm like, okay. We bought the rabbit on the same day that I found out my friend Tim came.
Okay. Yeah.
And
That's right. You posted about that.
Yeah. We went to church and we had lunch with my son's girlfriend and her mom. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about it. And I was having a horrible day. I was just having a rotten day.
Yeah.
And I was very, very upset and depressed.
Yeah.
And Libby said, well, what, do you want to go to to the store and look at the bunny rabbits and see what they have? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I need to do something uplifting.
Yeah.
And we went just to look.
Yeah,
We were
that's how
just
that happens.
going to look at the rabbits. And so we're looking at this cute little caramel and white bunny rabbit.
Okay.
And they're like, do you want to pick it up? I'm like, yeah, I want to pick it up.
They
And
bite, don't they?
They can, yeah.
Don't want to Holy Grail, Monty Python and Holy Grail, rip your throat out.
That was the solid white one.
Okay.
Yeah, we weren't about to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm holding the rabbit, and I'm like, okay, let's get the rabbit. I had made up my decision as we were walking in.
What do you feed a rabbit?
You feed it hay. And,
Hay?
Yeah, it's called Timothy hay.
Oh.
It's named after somebody.
Okay.
It's special hay.
Okay.
So we feed it hay and then a little bit of pellets. And you put
What's in the pellets? Are they like human flesh compressed into a
I
pellet?
think so. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's
All right.
definitely
Soylent Green.
It's
Feed that damn
yes.
psychopathic rodent.
Monkey brains.
Okay.
And
Okay.
human excrement
Yeah.
is what rabbits eat.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
tell you what, you put it in the bowl, the rabbit goes crazy, jumping over, like, give me that. Right, it goes crazy.
So
eating.
okay, so dogs
Uh-huh.
will piss all over the house.
Right.
Chew
Right.
like your furniture, your shoes, your kids, your guests.
Yes.
What
I have a scar on my knee.
What do I
And probably on my rib cage.
So
from
what do
tonight.
rabbits do that are annoying? Is it in there
Nothing.
like drinking the toilet water?
Nothing.
Nothing?
I mean,
you find it in the shower.
This rabbit, it's like you can litter box train them.
Mm-hmm.
They will apparently go in their litter box, and that's where they poopy and make their pee-pees.
Really?
And this one has not learned that yet. We've had him 2 days.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
His name is Figgy. He also goes by Figs.
Okay.
Fig Figler.
Uh-huh.
Or the Fig Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Figgy's name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidence.
Uh-huh.
We bought the bunny on the same day that my friend Tim Cable died.
Yes.
And we got him home, and I realized something. Tim Cable's nickname for Libby, my wife, was Bunny. They were coming over to our house one day, and he says, "Hey, tell Bunny that we're on our way." And then he had a big laugh about it. He's like, "I don't know why I couldn't remember Libby's name, but and I don't know why I called her Bunny."
Yeah.
But then he called her Bunny
all the time.
after that. And so Libby's nickname was Bunny.
Okay.
And I didn't realize until after we bought Figgy home the connection with a bunny on the day that Tim Cable died. So I like to think that Tim had something to do with me picking the rabbit.
Yeah, there you go.
Another coincidence,
Uh-huh.
Tim Cable died on the day Johnny Cash died. The anniversary of Johnny Cash's death.
Okay.
My old TV station, WJHL, they ran a video about him, and they showed a clip, and the first clip they showed was him singing Cry, Cry, Cry with this little boy who had a guitar, and he's singing along, and the boy finally stops the guitar and says, "Tim, if you don't stop singing, I'm going to cry, cry, cry." Anyway, that's a Johnny Cash song.
All right. Okay.
So it was just two bizarre
Too many
coincidences.
coincidences, yep.
Yeah.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Diff Liquid Concentrated Wallpaper Stripper. With its unique enzyme action, Diff dissolves old paste and cuts wallpaper removal time in half. That's right, half. Imagine all the free time you'll have after stripping wallpaper with Diff. Hell, you could take a walk, go to a movie, or shoot pool with your old buddy that just got out of prison. Your options are unlimited with Diff. Oh, and did I mention that no steamer is needed? It may sound crazy, but it's true. No steamer is needed when removing wallpaper with Diff. Diff is the only one that really works. Look for Diff wherever quality wallpaper stripper is sold. Diff, the official wallpaper stripper of the 2021 Summer Olympic Games.
Hey,
Yeah.
I wanted to mention something.
Okay.
Episode 54,
Yeah.
Truck Nuts Troy, is it's about to become our second most popular episode
Yeah.
of all time.
Yeah.
So I wanted to thank all our listeners out there
Yeah.
for downloading it, for listening to it. Hopefully they enjoyed it.
I'd like to ask them why they chose that one.
Why
in
do you always
particular.
do that? Every time I brag about a show, can't believe they listen to that.
No.
They're not going to listen to
No.
another one. That
No.
one-
I'm talking about the title. We've got all these different titles, and we got one that mentions truck nuts, and it shoots up.
It's
because
funny.
you and I got in discussion
It has,
about
it has
the
alliteration in it. People like
Truck Nuts
alliteration.
Troy.
Yeah. That's why they did
It's going to be my new gamer tag.
Anyway,
Wow.
thank you to all the people who downloaded
Yep.
it. Thank you for listening to it. And we hope that you subscribe to Irritable Dad Syndrome. We wanted to mention something. On our website,
Yeah.
you can listen to previous episodes and you can buy new merchandise.
Oh, yeah, we changed up the merch store. See, we had some complaints about the previous merch store, most of them coming from us.
Yeah.
Because we both
had to
bought-
refinance your house to buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, I wanted to buy a t-shirt, and unfortunately, my kids can't go to college now. But it was really expensive stuff on there, and got a few things, and I'll be the first to admit it, not the best quality. I wasn't that excited.
Right. Yeah.
We've gone to Teespring.
Okay.
And the cool thing about Teespring is you can link right to it.
Yeah.
It's got all of our stuff, and it was really easy to recreate the merch. We've done it with some of the new artwork and some of the older artwork.
Yeah.
The little cartoon dads is drawn by my younger son, Charlie. I don't think he realized that I was serious when I told him, I want you to draw something for the show. I think he thought that I meant I'm going to post it on Facebook. A few people will see it and that'll be it. I didn't think he would realize that people are now going to potentially have water bottles with his drawing.
He's going to want a chunk of change off that. You know that, right?
He is.
Why do you have the big bunny ears?
You know, I've been waiting to talk to you about this because that was what that's you.
I'm the tall one?
You're the tall one. I'm the little guy in the back.
You're taller than I am.
So, because we asked Charlie, who's who? And he pointed, he said, this Darren, and that's you. And I was like, why does Darren, because Bess started laughing. She's like, why does Darren have things coming out of his head? Those are your glasses. Those are when you're holding your glasses to your head.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're both wearing glasses. Okay. This whole time I thought, since you're taller than I am, I thought the shorter one was me?
Yeah, you thought I was the one with the stuff coming out of my head.
Mind blown. Well, that changes everything.
I think they're hilarious.
I think it is hilarious.
He was
too.
upset because he said he could draw a better picture. And I'm like, buddy, this picture is perfect.
Yeah.
This just... You scroll and you see that and you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
So I thought it was great.
So yeah, go to irritabledadsyndrome.com.
There's some new shirts
merch
there. Yeah.
section. We
Yeah.
have 3 t-shirts to choose from.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
pint glasses.
Yeah, I'm getting a pint glass,
And
by the way,
coffee
with
mugs.
the Toon Dads. I'm getting a pint glass.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm just going to tease ahead here a little bit. Pretty soon we're going to have some merchandise from one of the most popular sponsors on this show.
Yes.
So stay tuned for
There's going to be some cool stuff.
There's going to be more cool stuff coming.
Oh, I got a Kroger story.
Take it away, Dave.
It's time now for the Kroger Story of the Week.
Here's the deal. I went to Kroger to get some of my normal stuff. All right. Blue Bunny, ice cream sandwiches, some popcorn,
Spicy potato
Lay's
chips.
Flaming Dill chips, and Diet A&W root beer because I like Diet A&W root beer.
I don't know how you do it.
The little 12-pack. And I always put the little 12-pack in the bottom of the cart.
Okay.
And I buy a lot of meat, like chicken.
Because you're a man.
Chicken and sausage and
bologna.
and all this stuff. And I don't want that touching my
Bratwurst.
root beer. Okay. I just don't.
Get your meat off my root beer.
Get your meat off my root beer. So I had it on the bottom of the cart. All right. I put all my stuff from the top up on the thing, and I always put my root beer at the end. It's like an end cap because sometimes they don't have those little divider, the little, this is my that's your divider.
Yeah, the plastic thing. They got rid of that because of COVID.
Well, they have it again.
Well, now they're back.
So I put it back behind my A&W. All it goes through the stuff, and I'm looking, and I don't see a bagger, and I'm like, well, this is going to be one of those Kroger trips where I got to bag my own groceries, which annoys the piss out of me. It annoys me.
Yeah.
Because I used to work at Kroger. Did you know this? I used to work at Kroger.
When?
I don't want to get too far into this. I'm able to tell this story at a different time. When we went to OU, I worked at the Kroger there for a while.
OU.
It's not the OU. It's OU. Okay. And
the Ohio University.
I know some things about how the bagging and the cashier stuff works.
Yeah.
I know that they're well paid. And they should be right there bagging that stuff. So when I get to a lane and I don't see a bagger, it's just like, it's just annoying.
That bugs me too.
Because I'm not good at it. And then I feel guilty when it piles up and all this stuff.
I can teach you how to bag.
Here's
I
the
am
deal.
one bagging son of a
I don't want to learn. It's one of the things. Like you teach me how to mow the lawn, but I don't want to mow the lawn. But as they're going, a bagger shows up. Okay. Now, I don't like to put my milk in a bag.
Okay.
And I don't like you can't put my A&W root beer in a bag. It's in a little carrying case.
Yeah.
So it comes through the scanner. The guy scans it. I put it on the bottom of the cart. Okay. The guy's bagging up all the stuff. And he says, is there anything else on the bottom of your cart that you missed? I'm like, no. And the bagger says, "There's root beer down there." And I said, "There's the root beer that you scanned is down there." And he's like, "Yeah, I remember." He goes through the remainder of the transaction. The guy's just standing there. He hasn't gone over to another bagging area because they have like one bagger that handles multiple lanes now. He hands me the stuff and he's like, "Hey, did you get his root beer? He has root beer on the bottom." And I look at it, and I know that it's technically the cashier's place to say something to the guy.
Right.
But I just look at him like, he scanned the root beer. He knows about the root beer. What's next? Are we gonna go? Do we have to go out in the parking lot now? You're gonna take this right now. I have a moderate Kroger story. You might take this to the epic Kroger story.
Yes, the one that went out into the parking lot.
The cashier just said, I got his root beer. And the bagger looked at me and said, "All right," and walked on to the next thing. Like, what the I bought like $180-something of groceries. You think I'm stealing the root beer?
Yeah.
You think it went through the thing and then I lifted it up and stuck it and that's how I'm thieving root beer?
Yeah, no. If I'm going to steal something, it's not going to be diet root beer. I could just see you walking into prison. What did he do?
Yeah.
I stole root beer. No, stay away from him.
Yeah. Yeah. So the whole way back to the car, I'm like, under my breath. I do the under my breath cussing. It makes me feel better. I'm like, what's that guy's problem? What the hell? Yeah. Root beer? Root beer. I'm still on root beer. Diet root beer. If I'm going to steal root beer, I'm stealing the real stuff.
I'm going, full force. None of that big K.
I'm going Barks. I'm not going A&W if I'm going to steal it.
You think Barks is better than A&W?
No, that's why, because I wouldn't pay for Barks.
Okay.
I feel like Barks should be free. Barks is what they give you. Yeah.
Okay.
In the waiting room to hell, that's what they give you is Barks root beer.
Okay, rank root beers. Number one.
A&W.
No, IBC.
What IBC? Irritable bowel colostomies?
IBC root beer comes in the glass bottle. You get the IBC root beer or IBC cream soda.
Well, let me shoot this one in the head first because the only two I've had are A&W and Barks. And I like A&W better.
Yeah.
So
I
don't even know what the A&W stand for. Alfred and Weinstein's?
Yes.
Is it Harvey Weinstein's root beer company?
Root beer, yeah.
Oh, this one took a dark turn.
This has been the Kroger Story of the Week.
I almost burned our house down this week.
Again?
Yeah. So,
how many times have you almost burned down I know you almost burned the entire neighborhood when you were burning grass.
So here's the thing. All right. We've got a play set that is very dangerous.
Okay.
I don't know if you've been out and looking at our play set lately, but it's tilted.
Oh.
It's been tilted.
Like the leaning play set of Mike?
Yeah. For like a year, it's been leaning. And me and Bess will see the kids get out there on it, especially when other neighborhoods come out, other neighborhood kids, and we're like... that thing.
I think somebody might get hurt on that.
How many kids do you think can be on that thing before it just completely falls over?
One.
And what's the chances that a kid will fall under it? And then we got to go to court.
Right.
People are identifying bodies.
You don't have kids sign waivers when they come over to your house?
No.
Because we're at that point now at our neighborhood.
So we decided over dinner. The only time we get to talk to each other one-on-one is when we leave the kids at home and go to dinner for an anniversary or whatever. And I can't remember when we had this discussion, but you just randomly, Beth said, I think we should replace the play set. I was like, well, how do we do that? She said, we could pay somebody to come and take it away. And I'm like, I could go out there with a hammer and take it down.
Right.
But I don't know what to do with the wood. And I think she said, well, Darren said they burnt theirs.
We burned ours, yeah.
Okay. So that's where the story begins.
Okay. So it's my fault.
It is. I think it was Saturday or whatever. I just get a wild hair at my ass. We do a normal breakfast thing. I come down here. I play some video games. The kids play some video games. We hang out with Boo-Bah. And then we all start just doing our own things. Like Andrew will go play some basketball. Charlie may go over to his friend's house. I got a hammer and a screwdriver and a drill and went out and was like, I'm going to take apart the play set. Okay. Just tear it down.
Yep.
So start doing that. We've got one of those, what do you call it? The fire pit things?
Yeah, we've got a fire pit.
Yeah. So I put that's out in the yard, surrounded by grass, dead grass. That's important to the story later.
Okay.
And we have one of those fire starter logs.
Mike gave you a clue.
That's right. It's foreshadowing.
Yes.
And so I go out there and I have Rush. playing really loud on my speaker. It fills up the yard with sound. I got Working Man going because I'm working.
Yeah.
And I'm tearing this thing down. I'm feeling pretty manly because I'm destroying this. Like this, I'm like, ripping the wood off. You know, I take screws out of some of them. Other ones, I'm like yanking them with the claw hammer. So I'm building up a pile of wood. I'm like, I'm going to go and I'm going to put the little fire starter log, and I'm going to start putting the wood on the little fire thing.
Were you planning on burning this all at once?
Walk with me down this lane.
Okay. We burned ours slowly over a period of 3 months.
Well, I've learned that that's what you have to do. So I built...
Before you blame this on me, you didn't consult me.
Yeah.
Which you never consult me for anything.
I made a Jenga Tower of Death on top of this fire starter log.
There's our title.
And what got me, what led to what happens next is... There was a rope thing on one of the pieces of wood connecting
swing?
them. No.
Like a tire swing?
Like a freaking rope they used to climb up the wall. Like a climbing wall rope.
For rappelling.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but those are like nylon. They're like plastic or whatever.
Yeah.
And that tends to burn like a gasoline tank.
Yeah.
All right. So I put that on the raging fire. Well, the fire wasn't raging yet. It was a Jenga pile of death with flames licking around. It was relatively well controlled, and I had a naked, unburned piece of wood that I was using to catch. Every once in a while, something would fall out, and I'd put it back on. I was making so that it would all stay within the fire pit area.
Sure.
Doing a pretty good job
as a responsible
person. I bring over this 10-foot length of nylonish plastic rope and set it down on top of everything, and everything, yeah, it went up like, if you ever seen a Roman candle when it really takes off?
Yeah.
These flames got high. At that exact moment...
How high was it?
At that exact moment, it decided to start blowing wind. Okay?
And your neighbors came out?
No. Thank God. I'm hoping that they just watched from the corners of their windows and thought, what is that guy out there doing? Now, I remember watching liquid fire pour out of the side of the fire pit onto the dead grass. And for a brief second, I thought it was so cool how fast that grass caught and flames just started going towards our deck. Like, I'm talking a couple of feet a second. I mean, it was amazing. And then I snapped out of it like, oh, I gotta stop. This is going to be bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ran over. There's a hose there. I unhooked the hose months ago.
It's summer.
So now I need to connect the hose again.
Okay.
And it doesn't quite. And I look back behind me. There's a lot of fire back there now, heading towards our house. And I'm with the hose to get it on the thing. I finally get it on. Like an idiot. I make sure it gets all the way tight because I want all the water coming.
You don't want it spraying.
Yeah, I don't want to spray. I turn the water on, and then I drag the hose out. Luckily, there was some live grass that made a little barrier. It takes longer to burn that. That doesn't spread as fast as like the tinderbox that I put this fire pit in. I was able to spray it down. So when I sprayed it down, you remember I had a fire pit story from a few months ago where...
you were burning grass.
I was burning grass, and smoke enveloped our neighborhood. It looked like something horrible had happened.
Right.
Well, when you spray fire on spray water on this large of a fire, a lot of smoke comes all over the place.
Yeah.
It went over our house and around it. And for another insane second, I thought, I bet from the other side of the street, it looks like our house is burning down.
On fire.
It has to. There's so much smoke. And then it shifted to go to one neighbor, and then it shifted to go to the other neighbor. You could smell the smoke inside our house. So I know you could probably smell the smoke inside their house. Is why I think that they were probably watching me thinking, what in the hell?
Right.
By the way, this entire time, Geddy Lee is screaming, and the guitars are going, and Neil Peart is just banging. It was loud as hell. I forgot that music was on. So I had a moment where I was laughing at myself as I'm holding the hose, flames and smoke shooting everywhere, having just come really close to ending up on the news for burning my own house down with a there'd be no way around that. It was a purely... You did what?
Well-
You tried to burn a playset in a fire pit 6 feet from your wooden deck? And you put a nylon rope in there? And you didn't have your hose connected? And you were playing Rush? And your kids were inside?
Okay.
The story continues. Story. Go ahead.
Okay.
Good.
I would say how stupid you are. But many years ago, Libby and I had an apartment in Kentucky,
Okay.
in right outside of Florence, Kentucky. Florence, y'all. And it was January.
Okay.
Okay. We had a fireplace in this apartment.
Oh.
Well, instead of throwing away our Christmas tree,
Oh,
we thought it'd be a good idea to cut branch after branch after branch
Okay.
off and use it in our fireplace.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had a couple pieces of wood that I bought at the grocery store in there, and then I put some pieces of pine.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, it's January.
Yeah.
So this dead tree keeps getting drier
Yeah.
and drier and drier.
Yeah. Yeah.
I put too many pieces
Yeah.
of pine.
Put like a freaking sterno can in there.
Lit it.
basically. Yeah.
And I also forgot to mention that the flue was closed. Okay. So not only was there smoke coming all through our apartment, but there was flames shooting out a good, I'm going to say 2 to 3 feet, right to left, not up and down. And they were coming up over like the mantle.
Yeah.
And I am, oh my God, trying to stop
that
this.
gets your attention.
Yes, it does. The fire alarm's going off.
Yeah.
I had the door to our patio open, and I opened the door to the front of the apartment so the smoke could get out.
Yeah.
Landlord comes up. Hey, Darren, what's going on? I'm like, I've got it. I've got it. The flu was, oh God.
Yeah.
I put it out, and our white mantle was gray, a nice charcoal gray.
Yeah. Well.
And I painted all over that.
Yeah.
No one would have ever known.
Yeah.
Unless you could smell the smoke
Yeah.
all through our apartment. Yeah. So I can't call you an idiot because not only did I almost burn down my apartment, my apartment's connected to other apartments.
Yeah.
We're on the top floor.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Well, don't not call me an idiot yet, because this story continues. So the next day, I point out to the kids. Oh, by the way, Andrew came by when I was doing that originally and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm burning down your playset."
Nice.
We realized we had not talked to the kids about that. They thought that was hilarious.
Right.
Or Andrew thought it was hilarious. Charlie wanted to know what we were going to put up in its place. He's already looking towards the future.
Right.
So later, I'm like, I really want to get rid of that wood. I think I've learned my lesson. I want to at least get rid of the burned wood. So I went back out there with another fire starter log. I set it up, and I started going again. But before I lit it, I doused the entire area around the fire pit with water. Somewhere in those old pieces of wood is where the melted rope landed, because then I started to watch it drip again. But it was inside the fire pit. And I was marveling at my own intellect because I had managed to contain it. And then it caught again. And then the flames started shooting up again. And for a brief moment, I thought, my God, you've done it again. Again. No one's going to believe that you did this twice. But in my defense, I had the hose running, ready to go.
Ready to go.
Just water going all over the place. And I managed to, I didn't panic. I let some of it burn down. The kids had been out in the yard with me, and when they saw me building another fire, they went back in the house, which is probably the least safe place they could have gone. I had to put the fire out again. I had to fill the neighborhood with smoke again. And I decided, and Bess helped me with this decision. She gently offered, hey, we could probably just put that wood out with the trash.
Just throw it away.
And they'll take it.
And they will.
As opposed to you coming out here every day with the fire starter log and stupidity and risking our lives.
Yeah, we burned a lot of the playset, and to my mistake, we were on we had the fire pit on our back concrete slab.
Okay.
There. You know the handles where kids climb up the rock wall thing? Yeah. Don't melt those.
No.
Don't burn those.
That's the same thing will happen as what happened with the rope.
Because that'll get on the plastic or that'll get on the concrete.
Yeah. And that
stays on the concrete. I borrowed my neighbor Chris. I borrowed his power washer.
Yeah.
And Libby and I kind of got into a thing. She's like, "That's not going to take it off." I'm like, "I'm pretty sure it will."
Yeah.
I don't think it will, and it did. And for like the first time and only time, I was right, and I'm proud to brag on that moment because I was actually right.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whoppers All Beef Footlong Hot Dogs. Hi, everybody. It's your best friend, Dave. People often ask me, "Dave, do you really enjoy Whoppers All Beef Footlong Hot Dogs?" And I say, "You're damn right I do." Whoppers are made from 100% pure beef with no fillers and no preservatives. They're packed full of flavor and perfect for parties. Get a ruler and measure it yourself. If your hot dog isn't a foot long, they'll refund your money, guaranteed. So what are you waiting for? Get a pack of Whoppers All Beef Footlong Hot Dogs today. Available wherever quality meat products are sold. Now, back to the show.
Speaking of fire, we saw Billy Joel in concert.
Yeah.
He came to the Queen City. The Queen City?
The Queen City.
Yeah. It was a really good show.
Porkopolis.
It was a really good show. The reason I say speaking of fire is because he did play We Didn't Start the Fire. It was an awesome show.
Mm-hmm. And he does put on a good show.
I've
was
seen hilarious.
Him 3 times.
He and me and Bess talked about this. We came to this
Did he play something off of his latest album?
I don't know what his latest. I don't know.
His latest album was River of Dreams.
Yeah, he did play River of Dreams.
Like 30 years ago.
All right.
Yeah.
So we were laughing because he reminds us so much of Bess's dad with his mannerisms and the way he talks and his sense of humor. Mm-hmm. We were cracking up. And we both pointed that out to each other as we were walking away. But one thing that was cracking us up was he had a fly swatter with him on the piano. And in between, he would be talking about stuff. And he's like, "It's a little buggy up here." And he just starts swatting bugs. And it was for some reason it was just hilarious that he would be talking about a song and all of a sudden stop and start swatting bugs.
Yeah.
He forgot. He's like, "I'm going to sing this song or such and such." I don't know what album it's from. It's from one of them. Here we go. You just start going. But he did something really cool that I wish more bands would do.
What's that?
He would give options for songs. And I thought that's really cool because we can pick. Like you go by applause. I'm going to play
I Go to Extremes.
I Go to Extremes or Goodbye Hollywood.
Right.
And
I
love I Go to Extremes. So I was woo! And then they did Goodbye Hollywood.
Say goodbye to Hollywood.
Which I'm sure is wonderful.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to hear I Go to Extremes.
Yeah.
And he did that for a couple of songs, but I thought that is, if I ever become a piano playing rock star.
Right. You're going to do the same thing.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Sweet Delicious Apples. I'm Dave Lay, and I love apples. Honeycrisps are my favorite. But I also enjoy Golden Delicious, Fuji, and Cameo apples. I'll eat anything except for Granny Smith apples. What the hell were they thinking when they made those? Am I right? Apples are healthy, and they're perfect with peanut butter. Remember, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. But if you're not feeling well or have symptoms, please contact your primary care physician or call 911. Apples, America's favorite snack. Now, back to the show.
Well, you went to see Billy Joel, and I'm pretty sure that the same amount of people who were at the Great American Ballpark were at my son's high school football game.
Okay. All right.
It was insane, the amount of people. We went in first quarter to go get drinks and pretzels with cheese.
Okay.
And some M&Ms. Okay. So Cameron and I go and we're waiting in line to get the stuff. We get it and we go back. We're in the middle of the second quarter. I was like, "Oh my God, how much of this game did I miss?"
Yeah.
And apparently I missed a lot.
Yeah.
Lakota West killed that night. Oh my God, they beat them 24-0.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Anyway, we're eating this giant pretzel that has enough salt on it you could put it on a road in the winter. We're eating it, and there's the cheese. And so Libby's sharing it with Cameron, and Cameron takes the container and he dumps the pretzel in it. And when he pulls the pretzel out, instead of just pulling it straight, he kind of flips it off the side. And cheese flicks onto the shirt of the woman sitting in front of us.
Every aspect of this story is worse and worse. than what I imagined.
And so it's like, I wanted to tell Cameron, I was like, buddy, be careful. You got cheese on this woman's shirt.
Cheese is the worst thing to get flung on you.
Right. And so I don't want to say it loud enough for the woman to hear that we got cheese on her shirt. And Libby leans in, what's going on? What's going on? I was like, he got cheese on her shirt. What? Oh. And I'm pointing, he's like, he got cheese on her shirt.
Yeah.
He did what?
Yeah.
And he got cheese on her shirt. You know, like, you put cheese on my shirt? And I was like, and then I'm like pointing at the shirt.
Yeah.
I'm like, he got cheese on her shirt. And you can't whisper at a football game.
No.
Because everyone's like, woo, screaming and having a hooting and hollering.
You guys need a safe word. Something that you can say when the other one needs to just shut the f*** up. You know what I mean? Like turtle
wax.
That
You know what, Mike? That's the best advice you've ever given me.
Thank you.
The next time we are out.
I've given that to myself too. Turtle wax.
When we're out, when there's something, because you know how many times it's like you want to say something to your wife and then your kid walks into the room.
Yeah.
What did he say to her?
Yeah.
Turtle wax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turtle wax.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Fantastic. I'm definitely going to start doing that. I thought I knew a lot about Pink Floyd.
Oh, I'm excited about this one.
I have always liked Pink Floyd, but I don't have. I mean, I have a collection of great dance songs.
Jesus Christ.
And I have a live album of theirs.
The Delicate Sound of Thunder, probably.
Pulse.
Okay.
Pulse.
Yeah.
I think that's the name of it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's the Division Bell tour. I saw them on that tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm 51. So 3 days ago, I was 3 days ago years old when I found out that Another Brick in the Wall is 2 songs. That intro part is a different song. It's like We Will Rock You. And
have you seen The Wall? It's like a running theme all through there's like 3 or 4 songs of Another Brick in the Wall. Right. There's another brick, but there's Another Brick in the Wall, Another Brick in the Wall part 2. Yeah.
But I never knew that was a different title.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like a We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions thing.
Okay.
I thought it was one song.
Okay.
And then I also found out today, that Brain Damage and Eclipse, those 2 songs together are what I thought were the song Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
I thought that song was called Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
Because I'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
That's where they say that's the part of every album when you're like, oh, they said the name of the thing. They said the name of it. You know?
But apparently it's true. That song is called Eclipse or Brain Damage and then Eclipse.
So there are a couple of things. Okay. 1, you're an idiot. 2,
I've never denied it.
Have you listened to The Wall all the way through? You need to do that.
No,
you need to do that. It'll give you context for that.
Right.
2, the Dark Side of the Moon. You remember the eclipse we had just like a couple years back?
The solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a very, very helpful post on when to start playing Dark Side of the Moon so that when the eclipse hits in your area, it'll be playing Eclipse and I'll see you, the whole crescendo thing.
Yeah.
And we, as a family...
Do that again. It's like, oh my God, it's like I'm listening to David Gilmour.
Stop. We...
you didn't critique my singing.
So I happened to take vacation that day and we stood out on the back deck with that blaring and did that whole thing. It was really cool.
Yeah.
This awkward pause is brought to you by Kinner Toys. America's favorite toys are made at Kinner. Back to you, Mike and Daryl.
Cool.
Another thing about Pink Floyd is as I've gotten older and listened to more and more of their stuff, my favorite album will always be and continues to be Wish You Were Here.
Okay.
It keeps me in there.
Is that the one with the dude on fire?
Yeah.
Okay.
And periodically, another album will jump up. Like for a long time in college, it was Metal, the album Metal.
Okay.
Dark Side of the Moon was never really my favorite. I really liked it when we did the Eclipse.
Yeah.
But I'm a weirdo. I really, really, really love that album. I really love all the songs. But if I have a choice between Dark Side of the Moon and Wish You Were Here, I'll put on Wish You Were Here.
I think I may be the only person alive who doesn't have Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
It's never available. It's always always sold out.
Yeah, but
I just never got around to buying it.
Recently, and I don't know if this is 2020. 2020 was not a great year for me.
No,
for a lot of people.
Really?
There's a
Why is that?
There's
Mike?
an indication of my psychopathy. I had a really bad time in 2020. Everybody
Really?
else seemed to have a really good time.
I was having a hoot.
I wish for 2 straight months without toilet paper. I really got into Animals, the album Animals. Like I was listening to that one over and over and over because it seemed to fit some various things going on at the time, both in the world and in my life. So I feel like Pink Floyd is one of those bands where if you talk to someone at different stages of their life, they'll have a different favorite album. And another band like that for me is Rush. Farewell to Kings was my favorite album for a long time, then Presto and all these different things. So I got excited when you saw Pink Floyd because I'm like, oh, here's an opportunity for me to learn something about Darren.
You care.
But also just go whole hog on Pink Floyd.
I used to have, why I don't have it now, I don't know, but I used to have momentary lapse of reason. And I absolutely loved everything about momentary lapse of reason. You could just, it's one of those, like, I understand why people get baked and listen to Pink Floyd, right?
Yeah.
You know, you just turn the music way up, you turn all the lights off.
Well, see, all the hardcore Floyd fans are hearing you say that, and they're like, oh my gosh, he's listening to Gilmore Floyd. It was Floyd back in the thing. And I'm one of those weirdos. I don't want to say weirdos. I'm one of the people that I can see the benefit of both sides. David Gilmour can play. Let me tell you something. That man can play some guitar.
Yeah.
And he's got some pipes on him.
He's got a very good voice.
Yeah. And I'll say the same thing about Mr. Waters. He's got some pipes on him, and he can play the bass, as it were, the bass. Some
yes,
say.
he can. No, I mean, it's like, I love early Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
But the stuff that Gilmour did without Roger Waters,
I like
really
the
good.
Division Bell.
Yeah.
High Hopes off the Division Bell.
really good stuff.
Is one of the greatest songs I've written. All right.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Underoos, the underwear that's fun to wear. Back to you, Mike and Derek.
I've told you that my youngest son, Cameron, has a dog poop business. Haven't I? He has 2 houses in our neighborhood.
This look on my face right now is me intrigued.
Yeah, Cameron has a dog poop.
He sells dog to people.
No, he doesn't sell dog to people.
All right. I'm less impressed at this point.
He picks it up out of their yard for him. He charges them $10 a yard.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So, if you want him to come and pick up after Boo-Bah,
I think I would enjoy that.
$10 a yard, he'll come and do it. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, so we've been telling him to keep track of his business in a notebook or on his phone and a calendar or whatever. Well, he hasn't been doing that. He's 13.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're reminding him that he needs to do this. So we're reaching out to, he does 2 yards. He does Chris Michael next door, and then Miss Jamie, who lives
who in Chris Michael's yard?
His
Chris
dog,
Michael?
Sadie.
Oh, he has a dog?
Yeah, he has a dog.
So he's not going out there in the yard.
No.
Sorry.
So Cameron has 2 yards that he does. Our neighbor, Chris Michael.
Yeah.
Because he has a dog.
He has a dog.
Named Sadie.
You're right. Okay.
That's why Cameron picks up dog
Thank you
poop,
for making that clear.
because Chris has a dog.
Yeah.
God, you're stupid. And then there's a woman.
Well, now I got to keep that other part in. Now that you said that, they're not going to know what the hell you're talking about. Just go on.
And then there's a lady on the other side of the neighborhood.
What about the Durbans? Who picks up their dog?
I guess they do it by themselves. They're cheap. I don't know. They can't afford Cameron. I don't know.
Jerks.
Yeah.
Okay.
You realize that Jason has contributed financially to this podcast.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if he would support local dog picker-uppers. You know? People got to eat.
Anyway, Cameron's trying to figure out, he lost track of when he went to what house on what day.
Oh, yeah.
And both people would pay him for the week that he did and then the week coming up.
Oh.
So it got a little confusing, and I was helping him out. So I got on the phone to text Chris, Michael, and I said, hey, Cameron de-pooped your yard today. Did you, I can't remember when was the last time you paid, send.
Okay.
A text comes back, you must have the wrong number. So I sent a text about dog poop to somebody. And And then to make it more confusing,
Yeah.
it's not like I accidentally put the wrong phone number in and it went to some crazy person randomly.
Right.
It went to someone who I have in my phone.
Okay.
And I have no idea who this person is in my phone.
Okay.
And I asked Libby, I'm like, who is this person?
Yeah.
No clue. And I have no clue. And then I went on Facebook and I was looking up this person. Don't recognize anybody's face.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I started looking through, crap, what was I looking through? Something else.
I have a solution for you.
What's that?
You still have the text. You can see the text on your phone.
Who are you?
No, screenshot it.
Uh-huh.
Just have your text and post it on Facebook and saying, I got this weird text from a guy. Does anybody else get this? And then it's like, oh, I got that too. Then you know who it is.
Well, here's the thing, as you always say, and I don't know if you and Bess do this, but have you ever been out and then your kids run into other kids they know at the playground and they're having fun, and then you're like, oh, let's set up a play date.
Yeah.
So then you get the phone number for the parents, and then you never see the parents ever again.
That's right.
Okay, maybe it's one of those people. I know years ago, Jacob's soccer coach, I had his number in there, and I finally decided to delete that. I'm like, it's been 12 years. I don't think Jacob's going to be playing soccer again. I have no idea how I know this person. So I started going through my phone list, and I'm finding people over and over and over again. I have no idea who they are. Why are they on my phone?
I have another problem. I have the opposite problem.
Okay.
I would just like move contacts from phone to phone. I had a lot of contacts, people that I'd worked with, friends, all this stuff.
Yes.
It's like a ton of people in there.
Yes.
I wanted to get back in touch with some people. They're not in there anymore. I don't have very many contacts at all on my phone. I don't know what happened. So on the one
maybe
hand,
they disappeared with the snap.
well, that's one possibility.
I like how you're like, okay.
That's one possibility.
Totally considering.
Another possibility is that whenever you get a new phone, it says, do you want to store your contacts on the phone, or do you want to store the contacts with, and we use AT&T with AT&T and their weird cloud. And then we use Samsung and they have their own thing too. My belief is that I'm probably picking different options along the way, and it's dropping off contacts as we switch phones.
Okay.
Because this has happened over a period of like 11 years or 15 years. And I've just like contacts have gone away.
Yeah.
A terrifying option is that I never knew these people to begin with. And I've imagined them all. Which leads me to further
Marvin Ledbetter. 513.
It leads me to further problems. I'm like, and this comes
my imaginary
from,
friend Nathan.
I watch a lot of debates about reality and
the supernatural,
not supernatural, but the nature of existence, all this type of stuff. I don't want to get into that, but one of the possible things is I don't know right now if I'm in the basement by myself talking to like a stuffed teddy bear, or if you're really here doing the podcast with me.
Really?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're here.
Okay, yeah.
That
reminds me of one of my favorite jokes, though.
What's that?
I was at the office one day. This was years ago, and it's 6:30, close to 7 o'clock at night, and a woman I work with walks by, and she says, "Are you still here?" And I said, "No, I'm a hologram." And she thought that pissed her off. Yeah, she didn't think it was funny.
Hell with her.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, I'm hilarious.
She's probably the lady you texted about pooping.
Probably.
You mentioned The Office. I got to throw this out real quick because I learned this week.
Okay.
Jenna Fisher, who played Pam on The Office.
Yeah.
And the lady that played
Angela.
They have a podcast.
They've had a podcast for like 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, The Office Ladies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just discovered that this week.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
And after you listen to this podcast, we totally recommend.
Absolutely go there.
Yeah.
This one's a long one. That's what she said.
That's what
we need to. We need to wrap this damn thing up.
Okay.
We're gonna lose listeners.
Yep. So hey, thank you for listening. Episode 56. It was a lot of fun. We appreciate you being here. If you want to listen to more episodes, you can go to irritabledadsyndrome.com.
They're all there.
All 56 episodes are right there on the page.
There's links to all kinds of stuff.
Exactly.
Check out our new merch. You don't have to buy anything, but I'm pretty proud of some of the stuff that's on there.
It would be nice if you did.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
While you're on our website,
Yep.
go to the Patreon section.
Yep. It'll help us out.
Yeah.
To help support us, help us be able to continue to do this.
It would. It really would.
And
your change changes things.
here's a fun thing to do is we've added transcripts. And let me tell you something about the transcripts, people.
Okay.
We don't have the money to hire somebody to actually do the transcripts. So there's a service in, I think it's Listen Notes. It just automatically does them. And it does them as accurately as you would expect a cheap service to do them.
My name is misspelled every single time.
His name is misspelled every single time. There's things in there that we've never mentioned.
I don't know
what the hell they are, but I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
There's people out there reading this instead of listening to it, and it just fills me with glee that they are getting a completely different show than what we have in here. It shows up as a blog on our website. You can click show transcripts. They're ordered by date. You have the titles there. It's just a fun thing to do.
Yeah. Check that out.
Follow us on Twitter. Yep. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook.
And come back next week.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Take care. Love you. So long.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, I forgot to...
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Oh, and I couldn't help but notice something we've asked you several times, to leave a review, and for some reason, you still haven't done it. Is there a problem here? We're not asking for a kidney. Just leave a review. Sheesh.
In Cable Country, Tim Cable, Eyewitness News 11, Johnson City.